Scott, here I am at the 9/11 memorial, and the bagpipes are serenading those who have come to pay their respects, to mourn, to remember and reflect here at the epicenter of what happened that day on September 11th, 2001. You know, the crushing financial impact of those attacks spread far beyond Ground Zero, beyond the families who lost loved ones. And some of those directly affected are still feeling the pain 20 years later.
Tore my stomach out. I could hardly breathe. I made over 3 million square feet of deals at the original World Trade Centers.
Commercial real estate broker Ken LAUB watched 20 years ago as a terror attack brought down buildings he knew so well.
The amount of damage was unbelievable.
In an instant, an immediate halt to the financial businesses that made up the economic lifeblood of Lower Manhattan.
A huge exodus and 15 million square feet of office space that were displaced, and corporations scampering around the city and the tri-state area to find facilities.
What had been a concrete jungle for nearly 400,000 office workers turned into a ghost town. But into that void stepped opportunists, dreamers, and the defiant.
I think that part of my motivation was really, I'm not going to abandon the city. The city has a life and has possibility.
In 2002, Marco Passanella moved into Lower Manhattan even as the cleanup at Ground Zero continued. Bought a historic building, started a wine boutique, without many neighbors to sell wine to.
I was just praying that the residents would come, and then they did come.
By 2020, the number of apartments more than doubled. Baby strollers now wind past Wall Street, new grocery stores and schools. $30 billion in public and private investment resulted in astonishing architecture, modern transportation hubs, and public spaces, including the 9/11 Memorial, a primary destination for visitors. And while there are 25% fewer office workers now than in 2001, there's a wider blend of companies, including Uber and Spotify.
People wearing hoodies and funky sneakers who aren't working from 9 to 5, that's for sure, and you see that difference. It's a new segment of the economy, and it has diversified our economy here, which was a goal for a very long time.
So the real issue for this neighborhood now is what comes next after the pandemic. After all, being here, living close to work where there were suddenly so many amenities was one of the draws of being in Lower Manhattan. And there are real questions now about the areas that surround this Ground Zero and whether they can recover again. Once more, Scott.